Well, welcome back everybody to PoolieMagTV, the raw, unedited, unscripted NUFC fan channel where everybody's got an opinion and nobody's opinion's wrong. So I am bringing you this video after deadline day on September the 1st, 2025. And what a deadline day it's been. Not usually the case for Newcastle United, but it's been quite an exciting deadline day. Deals that we thought we were going to get over the line have been got over the line, people leaving, things like that. So we're going to get into it. But before we get into the content, if you do like what you see and what you hear, please hit like, hit subscribe, help the channel grow. And share the channel, get your family, friends, anybody who's interested in any NUFC talk, any NUFC banter. More comments, they're welcome. They don't have to agree with me, because I don't agree with me after that. Anyway, moving quickly forward from that shameless shilling that I do on every video, but I am just trying to grow the channel. We will dig into Newcastle United's summer window. So, it started in June. Now, Eddie Howe come out in his post-season chats with the press, saying that he wanted quick resolves for Newcastle United in the transfer window. He said good players won't stay around forever. He wants it over and done with as quick as possible so he can integrate them into the team. And they can get used to the way he plays in pre-season, so when they come into the Premier League at the beginning of the season, they're fresh, they're fully fit, and they have to understand what's going on. That didn't happen. That did not happen at all. June dragged away a little bit. Obviously, we had that first mini window, which was for the Club World Cup. And then rumblings were happening around, are we going to get this one? Are we going to get that one? It was Liam Delap. It was João Pedro. That never come to the fore. We had a bid rejected for Elanga. Then we finally got Elanga, which was, I thought, a really good signing. Maybe he's a little bit overpriced, but for this day and age, I have no issue with paying that for a 23-year-old who helped Forest get to their first season in Europe in 30-odd years. So I thought that was a really good signing. But the signs were just creeping in that Newcastle were going to be dilly-dallying a little bit. And I made videos, which I am going to take back, but at the time, it's how I felt about Newcastle's worst transfer window. We were getting knocked back from Mbeumo. I don't think we were ever officially linked with Cunha, but he chose Manchester United too. Then it was about a week of, oh God, what's going on here? We got rejected from Ekitike, Sesko, Isak. I'm not even going to get into him yet, because I don't want this to overshadow. Where I am trying to tell the story. This should come, them two rejections come off the back of Alexander Isak throwing his toys out the pram. Now, I've dedicated about 4 or 5 videos to Alexander Isak, so I'm not going to dedicate this full video to him either, but I would be remiss if I did not mention his behaviour in the summer window, considering this video is about Newcastle United summer window. It's not just about our incomings. As I said, as where we are in the timeline, from what I can remember, I can't remember every single day, so I might have things a little bit mixed up, but at the time of Isak throwing his toys out the pram, we only had Elanga in, and we've been rejected off a fair few. And Isak refused to go to South Korea, he refused to play, he went back to Sociedad, training in the summer, and it was just a complete farce. And then we were linked with Aaron Ramsdale, and I thought, what the hell's going on here? Ramsdale, good goalkeeper, probably is an improvement on Pope with his kicking and everything like that, but I just thought, what is this? What's going on here? But we got Ramsdale in, everything with Isak still going on. He's still refusing to play. He's still in the wilderness. Eddie Howe's having to answer questions on a daily basis. Everything now is revolving around Alexander Isak and Liverpool. It's nothing to do with what Newcastle are doing. And we're scrambling at this point. We're scrambling to try and get players in. We're getting knocked back left, right and centre. And that's when I made the video, is this Newcastle's worst transfer window? And at the time it probably was. We were about to lose our top main man striker, Wissa, and now they'd been rejected for him. We were then getting bids rejected for Strand Larson. And I'm thinking, what's going on? In the background though, Ramsdale comes in quite quietly, Malik Chow comes in, and Jacob Ramsey comes in, and all of a sudden, the mood starts to lift a little bit. Still predominantly negative because of Isak, but the mood's lifting a little bit. Ramsey coming in was a steal, I thought. I like Jacob Ramsey, and I hope he's okay after that tough challenge from Sean Longstaff. I'm sure he will be. But yeah, the mood's starting to lift a little bit. But we still needed a striker. Because we knew deep down he was going. Colin Wilson's already gone at this point. We know for a fact Isak's going. I knew for a fact. Once that statement was released, wow. God, you just knew. I knew anyway that he was gone. And I knew there was no way back for him. I had a little bit of back and forth with my dad about it, but I was quite adamant. And other people who were saying, oh, he won't go unless we get a replacement. And yeah, it's fair enough. We actually have, I'm jumping further ahead a little bit, but I just knew he wouldn't play for us again. And then we were, like I say, 2 bids rejected for Strand Larson. 2 bids rejected for Wisset, and we're thinking, what's going on here? We can't keep Isak because he doesn't want to stay here. And then, out of nowhere, we've just been drawn at home to Barcelona in the Champions League, and then it comes up that we struck a deal with Nick Walter-Maddy, the 23-year-old from Germany, 23-year-old German international, taught up the under-21s. You know, he's got absolutely quality skill for a 6'6" guy. He's not the finished product, but he was a start, and it was another forward that we could bring in. Gordon suspended, Isak on strike, Callum Wilson leaving, Barnes not really playing great, only Willis Solar, and let's face it, Willis Solar's not good enough for Newcastle at the minute. So, Nick Walter-Maddy comes in. We know he's not the finished product, but that's a statement signing in my eyes. It's a big signing. Bayern Munich wanted him. Now the mood's starting to shift a little bit. Now we're starting to say we're having a good window. This is not a bad window, despite all the Isak crap. This is a really good window, but we still need another forward. We still need another forward, and we want the rat out of our club. He wants to leave us and go down the M1 or whatever road you get to get to Liverpool. Well, see you later. See you later, you rat. You know, and that's what I thought. Get shot of him because it's toxic. You can see it's affecting our players. I know we played our hearts out against Liverpool, we played okay against Villa, but we were rubbish against Leeds, and I honestly believe it's been affecting us. And we're only human, so it's going to affect us, isn't it? So it comes to today, deadline day. Now, I don't know if I've done it justice, the feeling that we were all feeling in 8 minutes, but I don't want to be on here for 5-6 hours. Well, I've got about a 15-minute video at the best. So I might have paraphrased, I might have skipped along, but we all know we've been frustrated up until about the last week of last couple of weeks of the transfer window, when we've got Malik Chow, we've got Wisser now, we've got Walter-Maddy, and we've got Jacob Ramsey in. For me, that is a quality window. Forget the Isak stuff. Forget that now, he's gone, let him crack on. Let's see what he does at Liverpool. You know, and he probably will, because he seems that type of guy, doesn't he? So, the window now is shut, and now we're left with Wisser and Walter-Maddy. Now, I'm not going to go skip past Wisser's behaviour, because I don't agree with him either. He could have easily handled his move to us a lot better. Brentford playing hardball because they'd lost Mbuemo, Norgard, the other manager, Thomas Frank, the manager. So I can understand why they were playing hardball. We said down tools just like Isak did. That's not good. But for us, 31 goals, you know, in the last 2 seasons in the Premier League, he knows where the goal is. He's quick, he's versatile, and he's a bit of a poacher. So quality. Walter-Maddy can play in behind him, Walter-Maddy can come in. Walter-Maddy is going to need some time to bed in. And I'm over the moon we've got a Premier League proven striker who can come in straight away, knows the pace, knows what he's doing, and we don't have to rely on a fly kicking about there, but we don't have to rely on Walter-Maddy starting every game when he's just trying to learn his trade at our place. So I think we've had on the whole, a very, very, very good window Could have maybe he's done, I can nitpick, maybe he's got another centre mid, maybe he's got another striker, but I nearly forgot, but I haven't. Did we get the 30 million for Willisula? Comment down below, because I haven't seen if that's been a done deal. But honest to God, if we got Willisula, wow. If we sold Willisula for 30 million, that is one of the best bits of business I could have ever asked for Newcastle United. And it's been a great deadline day. I've been watching the Toon Review, I've been watching Sky Sports, and it's just, for a change, it's made a change, because usually we've either had all of our business done, or we might be getting rid of somebody on deadline day, but we never ever seem to bring anybody in on deadline day. I can't remember the last time we brought anybody of note in on deadline day. I really can't. It must have been a long, long time ago. Especially in the Premier League. We might have done it in the Championship, I'm not too sure. My memory's not as good as what it once was. But I can't remember the last time I was watching a deadline day and believing we were going to get somebody. I've hoped and prayed on a deadline day that we were going to get somebody and join the race for this one or join the race for that one, but it's just never amounted to nothing. But this time we have. We've got Johan Wisse, the rat has gone, and Willisula could be on his way out for 30 million. Wow. And add that to Ramsdale, Alanga, Chow, Jacob Ramsey and Walter Marder. Wisse comes in, and I think it's been a very good window. Hit like, hit subscribe if you agree with my comments. How would you rate it? Where would you rate it? I would say it's been an 8 out of 10 window. Could have been better. Could have got another centre mid. Maybe could have got another forward in for the Champions League. But I think on the whole, 8 out of 10. Hit like, hit subscribe, comment down below. And as I always say, keep it black and white and keep it PoolieMagTV. Over and out, folks.